So the best option that you can choose is going to be a full face helmet. This offers the most protection that you can have. Two main options is a standard integrated full face or a modular, which gives you the option of opening up the chin bar. Just makes it a little easier for conversing with people when you're at a stopped light. I wouldn't recommend riding with the actual chin bar up, especially when you're on the highway. It's not the safest thing, but it does give you the versatility of an in-between versus a full face. Obviously, as you can see, the whole head would be protected. And then there's lots of differences in terms of how to select a full face helmet. There's a lot of options on the market. In terms of price point, probably the most affordable ones would be a polycarbonate shell. And that's going to be the biggest difference between selecting a lower priced helmet and a higher priced helmet. So is the type of shell construction that you're going with. Polycarbonate is a pliable, flexible plastic mold that they use for helmets versus something like this that's a fiberglass. There's also Kevlar shells. So the fiberglass and Kevlar are more lightweight materials. They're also stronger, so they can generally absorb an impact a little better than a polycarbonate shell, and that's what makes them slightly more expensive. It's just that it's a better quality material.
So is that the main difference between, say, a $100 helmet and a $1,000 helmet?
It's one of the main differences. It's definitely one of the main factors, yes. And it also offers the greatest amount of protection. So the harder the shell and the more lightweight the shell, generally the more expensive the helmet. But what that allows manufacturers to do is to use a softer density foam on the inside. So a softer density foam is what protects your head from the outer shell of the helmet. And if you were to have any kind of impact, you'll have less chance of a concussion because your head would actually be going into a softer foam with a harder exterior shell. So the dissipation of energy and the chance of you having any kind of brain injury are reduced when you have a higher quality helmet.
That's great. So what do you say to people who come in and say, you know, I really want the Arai helmet? Like, can we just go in and buy any specific brand, or is there something that we should be looking for when choosing a helmet?
The number one thing that you need to consider is definitely fit. So even if you buy a $1,000 helmet, if it's not fitted to you properly, you're generally not going to get the type of protection that you're looking for and that you want to invest in. So you need to be fitted, and you should be fitted by an expert who can actually tell you the main points in terms of comfort, style, and how it's supposed to sit, and then again your risks with respect to an impact. One of the advantages of an Arai helmet is they have different head shapes. So you're guaranteed probably the best fit that you can have on the market. The other manufacturers, we're holding an HJC now, and so are you, but this would not have the same head shape as, let's say, a Bell helmet or an Icon helmet. So you really need to come in, try them on, make sure that they fit you properly. And that's probably your most important starting point as opposed to price.
Okay. Now I know for our courses, we tell the students that the helmet has to be DOT approved, or at least DOT approved. There's also SNELL, there's ECE. Right. Can you tell us the difference between what DOT and SNELL is, for example?
So DOT is your basic North American safety rating. Essentially, it's a test where a single anvil will drop down on the top of the helmet, and the helmet needs to pass that impact test in order to be DOT approved. So this is your minimum legal standard, and all of the helmets that I've shown you today will have that standard, and they'll have a little DOT on the back. Beyond that, the different testing for ECE or specifically SNELL are higher safety standards generally. A SNELL test is conducted by an independent organization. It's voluntary for the manufacturers to send their helmets in for SNELL testing, and they're also randomly enforced and audited so that you can guarantee the helmet that is SNELL rated is in fact of a higher safety standard. They will do a random impact test on the helmet. Generally, you will not see any half helmets, modulars, beanies, or helmets of that type that will pass SNELL. For the most part, you're looking at full face helmet that are of more than polycarbonate construction. So either a blend of polycarbonate and something else, or fiberglass Kevlar would generally be your more common SNELL rated options.
Well, thank you so much for that information. And if you're ready to take a course and you don't have the money right now, or you don't want to choose a helmet because you want to wait till you buy that bike, come on down to Studio Cycle because you can rent a helmet for the course.